Hello? People at home who might be watching this, or people who are watching this post stream, I am decided. Let me just put this lower. We're gonna do a tier list of my that's too quiet. We're gonna do we're doing an Abigail tier list. There's every main character from the plot of the story, every chapter, every character who and we have I decided to do a tier list of how powerful they are, just in terms of lore, in the lore of this little universe I have made. We have 5 tiers. We have actual literal god, lowercase g god, Consolo Gonklu, because it's very important that you need to solo Gonklu to show how strong you are. Superhero type stuff, King of Street Fighters, street level guys, and just a guy, no significant powers at all. No powers, no fiend bullshit, no enhancements, no mutant DNA, nothing. Just a guy on the street with no fighting background or anything, just nothing, just a guy. Anyway, first up let's just do Freya. I think Freya, high school, teenage, Freya, teenage, a teenage Freya. I would put, I think superhero stuff, because she hasn't still, she hasn't again, this is Stardust Act 1, so yeah, I guess this is still Stardust Act 1 Freya, so she doesn't she's got basically she hasn't fully mastered Act 1 or evolved into the other acts of Stardust, and then thus she's also she's an absolute mess of a human being, an anxious mess, and completely doubtful of herself, and so she doesn't really have, and also so she has all these mental blocks in place to keep effectively keep her from activating more powers, or and I think Stardust Act 1 is also going to be in superhero type stuff, I think, just to get them out of the way, because Stardust Act 1 is effectively an Omnitrix. If the Omnitrix was from Ben 10, it's just an Omnitrix from Ben 10 if the Omnitrix itself was alive and also a sentient being, and also a giant caterpillar the size of a giant hairy caterpillar the size of a German Shepherd or a Saint Bernard. Just a big boy, big hairy boy, big hairy bug. Yeah, that's it's basically it's an Omnitrix, except that it doesn't it's more Dial H for Hero was than the Omnitrix actually was trying to be. It's just all heroes and stuff. Given how Stardust is Cody Rhodes and it basically redials, or it's really a genetic redialer, basically putting a redial on your whole entire genetic code, and basically just turn you into give you random power, just a random power at least, but also you can cycle through the ones you've already unlocked, kind of thing. Now for adult Freya, last year of high school, young adulthood Freya, I think is 18-year-old, the 18 and 19, 21-year-old Freya, I think is gonna be Consolo Gonklu, obviously, because she literally just rips actual Goku in half, literally stops. But yeah, actually, yeah. So, I mean, spoiler, it's not her, but it's kind of, it's not. It turns out it's not her, but it's still oh, it's again her and Mandy, since her and Mandy are her and Amanda are the two sides of the same coin, dissociative identity disorder, and Like kind of like the good and evil persona of like one person. It's kind of like theoretically, yes, like Freya could Freya could do all the things that Amanda did, and therefore like could be also considered like a threat. Also like do, and like the whole thing like again she can stop time. She can stop time simply due to like borrowing the power, and also Stardust Act 2 can stop time. Also, Stardust Act 2 stops time. Also can like you can't attack it. Attack the fiend itself physically because like literally like it will literally like just like it will literally just deflect all. It will just like I'm sorry, I can't get the words out, but it'll just like it'll make your own powers attack you. Like literally, that's its ability. Like in like this, it's like the defensive form, like this, but Stardust, but Act 1, but completely defensive. Is that it basically absorbs your DNA and like throws your attacks back at you. And like kind of like Chariot Requiem from JoJo. Well, like if you like blast it with heat vision, or like if you punch it, it'll punch you with the same forces you punched it with. It'll send back the force, like it'll copy the force and just like send it back at you. Or if you're like a mutant, if you have like a psychic power, or like, and it's like, or if you try to like blink it out of existence, it'll like negate it or something. If you're a reality warper, so like if you're like but the thing is like it's completely like defensive and it can't like attack with it. You can only like with the same force of like what brought it can't like you do it on its own. You just has like if you touch it or like go near it. Also it like also can affect like also can affect like luck and reality. So like if you giving us some good old Final Destination shenanigans. I'm gonna put like at Freya like lowercase g god, I think, because she is effectively like Stardust Act 3 is like the Stone Cold / Stardust Act 3 is like just cold. It is lack of heat is the heat death of the universe. It is entropy. It is just a very big problem. A very big problem for anyone who has to deal with that. And the fact that like the whole of her like the freezing Stone Cold, like the fake like ability vessel power she has is actually like her fiend ability of like stopping time, but like on a very small scale. The fact that she can like focus her time stop to basically be like, I can stop like particles from moving, like I can stop like atoms from moving and thus create ice by solidifying air. Like science bullshit, like some crazy like science bullshit. It's kind of like and also she's blue. Also like the whole she can't. Also she's kind of like doing it. Yeah. Essentially post adulthood, like adults like Freya is like kind of like 30 years old, like not modern, like who's like kind of like superhero. Freya is like a actual god, actual literal god. She is one of the fundamental forces, like created by Trigon, like literally like one of the heavenly king, one of the four heavenly, the heavenly like the four pillars of heaven. Like the fundamental force of the universe. I guess she's gravity, right? She's gravity because she's gravity. That's what she was, yeah. And yeah, Stardust / this is after she's like learned how to, after like the personalities of her mind have like merged, and she's kind of like it's kind of like a merged Sentry situation, where like the Void and Bob like personalities like merge, and it's like even more powerful. But yeah, Isis actual literal god as well. One of the other four heavenly king, one of the other four pillars of heaven. She represents like, what is it like? What? Electromagnetics, maybe, or no, like, what was that again? Hold on. We. I guess she could be like weak radioactive force. Like Freya. Oh yeah, you know what? Maybe I. Like she could be like, since they're siblings, like strong nuclear force and weak nuclear force. Maybe we could change it up to that. But yeah, but yeah, she's just like two of the fundamental pillars of heaven, like the fundamental forces of the Goldust being like Goldust ability, like being like it can just like you can call it like the opposite of Stardust, in that it can literally like give people powers due to exposure to like radioactive element that makes up its body. Is insane. And he's a older brother. Yes, he is a dude, and he's hot, very hot, very nice. Yeah. Nero is gonna be like Console Gonklu. Yeah. Nero, like, actually no. Actually no. Nero is. I'm trying to decide what should I make him like a. I'm deciding it all now. If you haven't wondered, if you're wondering, I'm deciding these power levels now. I'm gonna stick with them. Oh, I have to. Yeah. You know what? Actually, yeah. Actually, yeah. Actually, I'll give him a solo Gonklu, yeah. Like he's powerful, but not like that powerful. Like he is a grandson of Sparta. Like much like Freya and Goldust and Isis and his sister. Like he's a granddaughter of Sparta. A granddaughter of Sparta. And like he's a grandson of Sparta, and he is like he has like demon, like the most like powerful blood of the most powerful demon and the most powerful human in his veins. But like I think the Lord is like you. I think they say I think he's not as powerful. I think I'll make him a lowercase g god, because he ends up getting like surpassing his he ends up does like surpasses. I might change it up, but he does surpass his dad and his uncle, and he does surpass like most of his like non-fiend relatives, and his dad and his uncle. Yeah, so Ace is also actually not. No. Yeah, Ace is also gonna be solo Gonklu. Like Ace is because like Edge is like ability. I forgot to mention Captain Charisma, but Captain Charisma is like literally. Captain Charisma is literally a giant like super shark. It's a giant it's a giant like colony in the form of a shark. Think like that one Pokemon that's like there's just a colony of fish make a giant fish, but it's like a shark. It's like a 666 beasts in his that make up his jacket, basically. Ace is up there, like a hitman for like Intergang. Like the Joker is like one of the Joker's like biggest like weapons they use against his enemies. Like literally like a trained to be a killer. Like wasn't until she was like saved by a Batman, and basically kind of like showing like a better way. Like but like she's like literally Edge's ability like literally can move at the speed of light. It can slice through anything, including the fabric of reality, and also it can, whatever it eats is like erased from existence, kind of like Chainsaw Man, but like it can eat anything, like including like people. It ate anything, including like people and stuff, like implying that like Ace is kind of a cannibal, but whatever. It's eating people. The fact that she uses it to like as a hitman is actually kind of is why she's kind of so dangerous, because she literally like erased enemies of Intergang from existence, like literally, like once she ate them, it's like they just boom, gone, just gone, finito. No, they didn't exist. She can regurgitate them to bring them back if she wants to, but like, because like, where do they go when she eats them? I don't know. They disappear. They just don't exist until I throw them back up. And yeah. Though she can eat like normal food, but whatever. Yeah, she's like, I think just from like the erasure thing alone, I think like lowercase g god. Cause this is kind of like Asaya is also Ace's girlfriend, is all kind of solo Gonglu. It is based on the War Devil from Chainsaw Man. Like Edge is based on Chainsaw Devil. Edge is Death Phoenix is literally just kind of like just has the War Devil's powers, which I compared to like actual like, which seems like powerful and the most powerful thing in like Chainsaw Man, but when you have like the embodiments of like fundamental forces of reality, like to compete with, like you're kind of like interesting. It's kind of interesting. Yeah. Well, Edge. Goldberg Shayna. Goldberg / Shayna is so I can't really decide. Actually, no, I can start. You know what? You don't make actually. No. I can't, because of feeling, because of like the 8 kings, like under the 4 pillars of heaven are like kind of like the 8 kings like underneath the 4 pillars of heaven that the 4 pillars are a part of are like they can like they're like world class fiends. Like there's like the classification of fiends is like kind of like WWE title. It was like, okay, there's like street level and there's like content. There's like the top fiends are like separate, like 4 classes, like continental, intercontinental, world, and then like the 4th one, which is universal. World, and then like the universal, like the top, like you can control the universe, the fundamental forces of reality. Like that's like these 2 lads right here, these 2 at their peak. Like, but yeah, Goldberg is I guess like because it can cause like earth. It can literally is like Oasis, but mixed with Armadillo from with a little bit like Graboid in there, because she's literally like she can cause like earthquakes and stuff. Like theoretically she could like she's like a geomancer and stuff, like geokinesis and stuff like that. She could theoretically like crush the earth from the inside, but like so she like definitely like say like lowercase g god actually, yeah, she could just do that, like yeah. Shayna Jr. is just like a guy, like yeah. The whole like of the whole like manipulating like gravity is kind of cool, but like it's a very specific like way of manipulating gravity, and it often at times it only works in one single way, which is like float up. You make people float up, which is also not oftentimes not was good for combat. I mean, she's a fiend, so she's like she can't. She's like they're like not indestructible, but like you know, she's just a kid. Trixie. Here's the thing, like Trixie Trixie doesn't like I never like envisioned Trixie to be a part of like the main Abigail story until like Curse of the Rabbit, where all the fiends come out together. But like she for most of her life she was like on a continent that didn't even exist. like hanging with the sharks and the cat people and stuff. We just I don't know. I mean yeah, she's lowercase g god, yeah. I guess she's lowercase because she doesn't really have like. I mean, actually, maybe she has actual god because she literally is like she is like literally a hybrid of demigod, human, plant, and like fiend DNA. So like she's like a freak. She's like the only like non-pureblood fiend that became a part of like the eight kings. Like yeah. And yeah. Okay, Amanda. Amanda is also God. Is actual God. She's gravity. She's gravity. So she's like she's like the last of like I think the third of the four kings, of the four pillars. I mean, fuck. Sorry. And she's evil. Freya's evil like persona, like quote unquote evil until like they merge and like. They're not really evil, but like on odds with each other of how like they should like whether or not how like humanity should be like taken care of, like whether humanity's like oh Freya's like kind of like a superhero, wants to be that superhero, no kill rule, like kind of your old Boy Scout Superman kind of thing, and Mandy's like we gotta like the world doesn't work like that, unfortunately, so we gotta like sometimes we gotta make choices. For the better of like everyone, for the better of everything. But also like Mandy's also kind of like nihilistic, so I can do whatever I want. Kind of like an asshole, so like, I want to do whatever I want, and whatever I say is like, here's reality. She's kind of like the unstable like persona of also Eater of Worlds is like arguably like the main villain up until like Trigon reveal. Okay, cool. I don't care. Okay, cool, whatever. Yeah. Eater Worlds and Stardust kind of like are like oh yeah. I'm gonna put all three of the Powerpuff Girls into lower G god case G god because they each like represent. They kind of like each of them. What the? Oh. That's weird. Alright, whatever. That's weird. It's a long space. Yeah. Look at they have a lowercase g god because like quite literally they represent like they're like the three. They're basically like the three. The reincarnation of the original. They're like Freya clones. Freya is a clone created by Free Will Corporation. They are like, literally, they have her DNA. They have like the power of the Eater Worlds and Stardust. They also represent the three like states of matter. So like solid, liquid, and solid like wait, hold on, like solid, liquid, and gas. Like liquid, solid, and gas. Like literally, and they do all crazy things with that. Like you know, with those abilities, their powers are like. The three also like the shield, so like the and also they are like literally if like Freya's around, it's usually these three that kind of like do like whenever like Freya's not like around until on Earth to like deal with threats, like some sort of like great super threat. Dante, I'm gonna is just I can't decide now. I can't decide which I think because I think like Dante said like Freya's like I think like Dante said like yeah. I think Dante like should be like superhero type stuff. I'm also gonna put my wife into like Kara Zor-El into that because they're literally like. I mean, you know, actually, Kara, like, they're both like, because Kara was like converted, is basically like, stronger than Kal-El because she was like younger. she's technically older than him, but she, of course, like the whole like weird logic, like she's young, she's older than him because she's her older cousin, but she was in cryostasis so she was like technically younger. She's like biologically younger, but she's like technically older than him in terms of like, you know, comic book logic. To have like, why is the older cousin like not a woman? Why is not Superwoman and just Supergirl? What the fuck? Comic book. I'm taking it DC's madness and putting it into Abigail because, you know, DC universe got blown up along Marvel and everything else. Virgil is also gonna be the solo Gonclu. Because literally it's Virgil and he's the storm that is approaching. And he married twice. He fell in love with a demon stabbed in the back, like sent him to hell. And then like he met another demon there, fell in love, and she had kids, like alright, and she had the kids of her own. And then they decided to raise them together like, while he was in hell, like alright. And that demon is the blood demon. The fear of like the terror, one of like his power, like blood magic. Yeah, blood magic is like controlling people's blood is like insane, especially like if you can think all the crazy things you can do with it. Especially in this universe, like literally she could like control people with it. She could literally like control people, like literally, like she is like a terror. A fear is like a very like high level demon. So like if you're like a fear and you like represent, you have like a domain over like I think I might actually put her in lowercase g, God, because she has like a domain over like blood, which is like blood over like blood, which is like kind of like, because like she kind of like a domain over blood, like, and like she could like control people, like literally control, like mind control people using blood instead, and like murder, like yeah. She literally is also implied to be Quetzalcoatl, I think. Funny. Okay, Doomslayer. The Doomslayer can solo Gonclu. And kiss his beautiful wife, Sparta, the legendary Dark Knight. And then make his children spaghetti. A nice Italian man who like taught a demon to wake up to justice. Sparta's a lowercase g god because she's literally a god. People like worship her on Earth. Also, she's like an angel and demon fused. She's a demon fused with angel power due to like the rebellion. Sorry, because that whole plot from Devil May Cry 5. Remember that? Rebellion. Yamato can split things, you know, rebellion can fuse them. And so yeah, that's kind of like what happens. That's kind of like, and yeah, and it's basically yeah, she was basically like murdering demons to stop her father Mundus in revenge. She's just murdering demons, not unpoetically, unceremoniously, like just to get back at her daddy Mundus. Until a nice little Italian man with a shotgun and a BFG told her, "Hey, you need to wake up to justice and help us." You know, like all right. And then they kissed and they took off their helmets and just like made out and had 3 lovely children, Dante, Virgil, and Arya. Ramona Flowers is gonna be superhero type stuff, I think, cause she like takes out like a dude, cause she literally takes out like, I think like, because Dusty Rhodes like interdimensional travel thing like, is not being like literally like, you can travel, well to anywhere and anything with using like dreams, the dream roads, is very funny, and also weirdly absurd. Like what? Also really absurd. Again, like Abigail. Logically and everything Abigail is absurd, but also like shout out to Scott Pilgrim Takes Off for like making like the Dusty Roads like road being like actual like dusty desert, and like yeah, but yeah, Dusty Roads just a door until like you get American Dream, which is like American Dream Girl, where it like is like literally she can like she like just like it's kind of like an open, kind of literally like just like refix time, kind of like a MacGuffin, like that just fix like timelines and stuff, fix like dimensions and alternate universes and stuff, like kind of like Scott was also superhero stuff because literally like they literally like also took out like Gideon and like 7 evil X's and Gideon, literally like a loser dad and the greatest of all loser dads. Not the dad, not the stepdad, the dad who stepped up. As Ramona's the mom who stepped up. And also they are afraid as adoptive parents, and Isis is like adoptive parents. After certain people we'll talk about later, like end up like losing their master plan. Yeah. The fact he's able to take out, the fact that he's able like knocked out the Eater of Worlds like once out of like, just like goes to show like, okay, this guy is not to be fucked with. But it's still like everything after that is like, okay, he's like grounded. That one freak occurrence is like, yeah. Oh yeah. The Injustice gang are just guys. The Injustice gang are literally just like dudes. Like literally they have no like, actually, you know what? The Injustice gang are literally just like guys, literally. Not even like dudes. They're just like grifters that like decide to become Power Rangers, conservative Power Rangers, and then Disastro got a hold of them and then turned them into horrible fiends. And then they don't even have names. I don't even have names for them. They're just guys. I don't have names for their fiend forms. I'm sorry. They're just losers. They're all just like sad people. And now they're just like fiends, so they can't die even if they want to. That's horrible. For sure. Yeah, it's fucking weird. The fact that these guys are like literally a child next to a child, a literal child, might probably are weaker than him, weaker than her. Really goes to show like the insanity. All right. I would give Vampiro this because he does actually have a kill list. He does actually have like a kill list that when he actually activates his fiend. The Black Cross leader, the Black Cross's leader is like still like a guy who can like fight. Like literally evil Christians who hate God, you know, vampire man. Obsessed with vampires as a child, like basically like turned into one with some bouncing for joy, and then just got impaled on a giant statue, and then yelled about to a teenager about how there was more of her kind out there. Yeah. Balor, I think is gonna be actual god. Actually, no. Balor is a Hell Lord, and also like Nero and Ace's mom, and like the reason why Bruce Wayne committed suicide in the Abigail universe. Yeah. He's also like has like an overkill button as her ability is literally a if I open my eye everything dies I win button. Is an Exodia. It's literally just an Exodia. So like the idea on the whole thing of like they have to like race against time to like find a way to stop this monster before like ends. That Batman and Ace like have to figure out like Dick Grayson, Batman anyways, and Ace have to figure out like, okay, how do we stop this like demon before it like Batman has to racing against time to figure out how to kill this demon before his eye opens and like ends the world. And then like of course Ace comes in and was like slices the eye open and just flying at light speed, of course, with her chainsaw powers, and just like, all right, like I woke up to justice, having her Sparta moment. I woke up to justice. Again, the theme. That's kind of like the theme of like, kind of like these shady characters waking up to justice, like good old grandma did. Summer's just a guy. Or King of Street Fighters. I should have put like M in there because she's little. I should have put like M in like King of Street Fighters because she's like until we get to Stardust, she's not like. These two should be together like phase 1 like early chapters of Rebirth. Part 1 is like kind of like they're like on the same page kind of, but then it's like yeah, he's a fighter, he can fight. I mean yeah, he's just a guy. I'm almost ready to put him on a guy, but like I don't know, just a loser. He's just like a loser white boy, ends up like causing the plot to happen. And a spoiler alert, it's not just by accident. It might. And yeah, he's just fire. He's just Ryu. Kind of like a Ryu. You're Ken. You're like main character with the fire ability in every fighting game or like whatever. Just a guy, but actually he can fight. So he's like King of Street Fighters. He can throw hands. So yeah, he learns to throw hands. Yeah. And a ghost resurrected him. And he also like has a very awkward relationship with his sister. The more you know. If only you knew. Big Red Machine is like a lowercase g god, or like no, yeah, no, he's like he can console Gonklu. Like I'm putting it lower, yeah, because like he's literally like. He's literally just like, he can literally, his power is like heat. His power is the opposite of him. He controls heat. He can control accelerate. He can control like particles. He like, to the point where he can like make the sun go nova. Like literally like, he is like the, like it isn't until like, if a Stardust Act 3 didn't, like just like, if it wasn't for Stardust Act 3, there wouldn't be he would have like, just won. Like he would have won. Like that's literally like the whole thing. If M hadn't woken up to justice and just ended this motherfucker, then there wouldn't be a world to live in. It's so sad. Also, like, yeah, kind of like weirdly enough, also like the manifestation of Alm's grief, like literally like just his anger, all of his like negative traits like manifest. The whole twist of Alm like turning out to be a fiend is also like a really fun thing I came up with. Like yeah, it's like yeah, him like oh yeah, he's actually the villain. Oh yeah, the hero was the villain, and the villain becomes the hero. Like reversal roles. Also he necrophilic madman over here made this little poor lad fornicate with his sister's corpse. Yeah, unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. Evil man. Even though they're literally like, the same person. Yeah. Okay. Musker, I'm not even gonna say, like, Musker's just a guy. Muskumph is just a guy. Musker. Musker's not even a guy. He is a clone of 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 a guy. Yeah. Like, he's not even, like, the villain of your part is literally, like, watching, it's just a passerby watching these giant, these, like, demons fight each other, and it's like, I don't understand what happened, what did they do? Basically watching, like, these, demons, like, outsmart his AI humans with AI, like, super freaks with, like, I did this, and, like, JoJo techniques, like, Joestar tactics, and, like, as I like to say, like, Joseph would be proud, like, you know, and then you have Musker, like, watching this on his screen, it's like, I don't get it, I'm actually quite dumb, like, how did this happen, how did they win, like, I am a genius, but I'm also really dumb. I have autism, I'm really smart, but I'm also very dumb. Like, how did he beat her? How did she beat him? How did she beat that AI human? creature. How did it be the AI demon? Like, what the fuck? Oh shit, I forgot about, like, AI Freya in this. She's just a guy. I think she's, like, whitewash Freya, as I like to call her. She's just a guy. Yeah, she doesn't have any power. She's just a human. That was made an AI human that made to look like Freya. The internet herself is, like, a lowercase g god. Because due to the fact, like, it's like, no, actually, no. Actually, it's like, it's, the fact that it's like, its ability is very specific. It's the internet itself is literally, like, the internet herself. Is, like, a conglomeration of all of Earth's technology. And, like, internet, and, like, the internet and AIs on Earth, like, gaining sentience and becoming one. Merging into one single entity and gaining sentience and, like, control over technology. But unfortunately, it's, like, stuck on Earth, and it can't, like, it can only interact with, like, work on technology. So if, like, you put it on, like, Mars or something, which, spoiler alert, Freya does, and, like, it's, like, just powerless. I mean, yeah. You can control technology, but you can only control our technology, because that's the only thing it has access to. So even if an alien world, like, found it, it wouldn't understand, like, how their technology works, because, like, coding, and because, like, it's coded different. Like, they probably don't even use coding for, like, their binary coding or whatever for, like, their like, technology. It could, like, they don't even, so it's just useless. It's only a world-ending threat on our world. So, like, yeah, everyone's like, oh, whatever. So that's why, like, no one gives a shit about this fucking AI creature. Yeah, whatever. Captain America and Angels of Death are, like, superhero stuff. Cap turns heel and creates the NWO. He's the third man, brother. Because Arya Trigon told him to. Arya told him to. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Angels I grouped into one being because they're all, like, kind of like just bosses that, like, Freya has to fight, like the NWO, Angels of Death, what do you want to call them? Angels. They're just like, I mean, like, the whole twist of the Avengers, like, joining his side, like a Civil War 3, but, like, 3-way, Civil War 2, and it was like Civil War 3, quote unquote, with, like, but it's like a 3-way between Iron Man, Captain Marvel, and over here, little Carol over here, and the Cap is, like, and then, like, the whole twist of, like, Cap, like, turning on the other heroes, like, basically, and his, like, and the Avengers, like, joining, like, yeah, it's like, yeah, we hate America, fuck this place, it's a shithole now. We hate this fucking, we want to build a better tomorrow by force, basically. That's kind of like the thing. Like, okay, like, the idea of, like, they want to build a better world, but they're just doing it in the horribly wrong way. And, like, the whole, like, and it turns out, of course, like, they're, like, of course, Captain America isn't human. He's like a proto-fiend. He's like a proto-fiend. Like, what would become the fiends on Earth? He's effectively what, like, they're trying to make Freya for. But effectively, like, the whole, like, program is, like, programmed to kill fascism. He's just, like, a weird, like, living weapon designed to kill fascism, but, like, his programming, of course, goes too crazy. Finally, like, it goes insane. Like, the idea of, like, he's, like, technically a void of Captain America since he had the super soldier serum, which is just effectively Trigon's blood. Trigon's blood. Somehow, it was just Triple H's blood. We'll get more on her later, in a few days. Oh yeah, and he's a superhero type stuff. But he's not like a god. Like, Disastro's can solo Gonklu. Yeah, he's not like on the level, like, of his children or any of his kids, or like his nephews and nieces, or like his mother, even like his mother-in-law. But like Disastro being literally evil soul bad guy in name and, like, origin and everything, is like this, and not having never, like, lost a flame of corruption and made it even more and evolved it into like lightning of darkness. Into the lightning of darkness. Is like really the most like, yeah. He's one of my favorite, like, also his initials are Dio. So yeah, he's a bad man. And also a brilliant mastermind. Arya, Amanda Sr., Triple H. Like, the origin of all creatures. The origin of all... ruler of hell. Actual literal god. Quite literally. Like, literally, like, the fundamental force of... Hold on, let me see. I could say, like, gravity. I can say, like, gravity. Gravity. Like, she could be gravity, and, like, and Mandy could be, like... Mandy could be, oh, yeah, whatever. Okay, whatever. She's gravity now. She's gravity, electromagnetism... nuclear, strong and weak nuclear force. Strong and weak nuclear force, light and chaos, like, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah. Arya, literally Triple H. Her fiend is called Triple H. Literally, like, literally the reincarnation of, like, the creator of the Abigail universe. After, like, the entirety of the Omniverse and beyond, like, was destroyed in, like, a giant, like, cataclysm. And then, like, of course, Triple H was, like, born from it, and then basically made the Abigail universe from, like, the backyard. And, like, and just, like, the backyard dimension, and just, like, recoded an entire, like, universe using the bits and bobs of what was left. And, yeah. Literally the mother of, like, two of the strongest, three technically, by technicality, of the two of the strongest fiends on Earth. Yeah. This is a... Alright. Yeah, and that's kind of like the tier list. Pretty nice. Very nice. Very nice. I might do more later, but, like, I don't know. Alright. 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 Optimumification 8T. Something about Russians. It's a bot. Okay. Alright. That's enough. Bye, Mr. Bot. Go to hell.